Now that is something better. Oh, the rod's performing well. Got to keep them out there inside reeds. Which isn't always easy. Oh, you're really having a go. Ah, it's a bloody eel. That's the only trouble. That is the only trouble with using meat. It is a big eel as well. There's me thinking that was a lovely chub. Well, hi. It's been over 3 weeks since I've been out fishing, and by the time you see this it'll probably be over 4 weeks since you've seen a video from me. The weather hasn't been great during July, but that isn't the whole reason, part of the reason. But those of you who followed me for a little while will know I had a hip replacement a couple of years ago. Well, the surgeon at the time said the other hip was showing signs of wear, which wasn't particularly good news, but it's been holding up okay. But over the last few weeks I did a fair bit of walking, and after one occasion the hip was starting to hurt, and also the knee, and basically the knee pain is often a referred pain from the problem in the hip. So I've been taking it a bit easy, and I was trying to think of somewhere to come where I wouldn't have to walk too much. Unfortunately, my preferred sort of fishing style is to stroll along streams up and down, but I didn't really want to commit to too much walking today. So I've come to the mill stream at Offord, which is a fairly short section of stream, so even if I do sort of roam it, it's not very long, and it's not too bad a walk from the car park, so everything's really been aimed at not putting my hip under too much stress. Bit fed up really. Had the replacement hip a couple of years ago, had a back operation this year, just felt I was back to being fighting fit again, and then something else crops up, but that's the way it is. Anyway, I'm on the mill stream. Quite a bit of water in here, a really good flow in here, much more than previously, when I've been here previously this year. Well, I've only been here once, but yeah. And the other surprising thing, there were no cars in the car park when I arrived, so I appear to be the only one on the whole sort of not only on the mill stream, but the whole sort of selection of waters here, so that's quite good. Yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to fish, eat, swim for a little while as I normally do, and see what comes. The other interesting thing today, and I'll talk about it a bit later because I'm going on a bit now, is quite a while ago I ordered a split cane rod from a chap called Ryan Burns, and it arrived a couple of weeks ago in the middle of all this not fishing, and I've got it out today, and I'll tell you more as we go on. As I say, I've been talking too long already. So let's get going and see what happens today. Okay, starting at the head of the stream. I usually get bothered with a lot of small fish here, but I have caught chub out of here, so it's a good place to start, and I'll work my way down. Provided nobody else turns up, I should be able to try most of the spots. Yeah, I mentioned the rod in the startup. As I say, it's by a chap called Ryan Burns. He makes these from scratch. He planes all the cane himself, and a very nice rod. It's called the Arrow. It's named after a tributary of I think it's the Warwickshire Avon, near where he lives. It's got a fairly fine top on it, and I told him I wanted something that I could use on streams. I've always hankered after having a cane rod. I started my fishing sort of as a youngster with a cane rod, as most people did of my age, and I've just noticed I haven't put the lead shot on. I've got the sliding bead and the swivel, but no shot, so I'm going to have to break off for a minute and just go and get a piece of some shot to put on the line, and then we'll start. Yeah, so this is its first outing, and we'll see how it goes. I've matched it up with my old Mitchell 300, which I've also had since I was a lad. So it's a real sort of old-fashioned setup, if you like. And we'll see what happens. Now, I made up some new cheese paste the other day, so I'm going to start off with that. Oh, that's the old stuff. I've got some new stuff with I think I've put the wrong bit in. This is some very old cheese paste that I had left. This is the new stuff. I meant to put 2 balls of the new stuff in, but we'll see. Anyway, I added some garlic to it, so hopefully as an additional attractor. I also bought this on Amazon. It's a little vacuum flask, and the idea is to stop the cheese paste getting too gooey in the warm weather. But it's not that warm today, actually. Right. Let's see what happens. Ah, that was no good, was it? Cheese paste came straight off. Well, a bit of a dramatic start. I tried a bit of cheese paste, and unfortunately I didn't click on the video, so you missed all that, but I got a few touches, only small fish I think, and to try and combat them I've moved over to a bit of luncheon meat, or spam I think it is, and hopefully that will dissuade the small fish picking the cheese paste off. Yeah, I'm not sure what I've recorded and what I haven't now. But just to add to the fun, a Labrador came crashing through, knocked everything flying. Yeah, so it's been a bit of an interesting start. Right, let's try the meat and see what happens. Right. Oh, dear. Oh, that wasn't very clever. The bait caught the water as I cast. I've got a bit too long a leader on here, but unfortunately because I've got a 5-pound leader on, there's a knot and I can't drop the bead down any lower. That's better. Ugh. Yeah, this dog just came crashing through, and of course the owner had absolutely no control over it as usual. Something playing with it. It's probably small chublets. As I say, I can't remember what I've mentioned and what I haven't now because the video not being on, but I think I did mention that this cane rod is obviously not as sensitive in the tip as a proper quiver tip, although it is quite a fine tip on it. Oh, that was definitely a chub. The hook pulled. What a bore. Yeah, I'm not sure he's going to come back. Oh well, we'll carry on and see what happens. But it's definitely a chub. Got it that time. I may have foul hooked it actually. Yeah, I foul hooked it. Well, that's not so clever. I think it's a dace. I'm sure the first one wasn't a dace. Yeah, well, sorry Mr. Dace. Oh, Jesus. I think I probably missed the bite there. I just pulled through a shoulder dace and caught one of them. I think I'm going to shorten this this hook thing by cutting back the hook a bit, so I'll just go offline for a bit. Right, I've got a shorter hook length now. I've got £7 line on the reel, but I put a £5 fluorocarbon on the hook length, so well, that's not so good. Need to go through the proper bit of it. Yeah, I'm making a mess of this one. Let's try it this way. I don't know. Try another bit of meat. Made a right mess of that. Get the hook near the edge of it, and hopefully I can hook the fish better. It's a lovely spot, this, it really is. That's better, make it easier to cast when I've got a shorter hook length. I think I've probably spooked the chub with that first one that came off. Oh, come on! Should have hooked that. Ay, ay, ay. Can't keep missing bites. Gonna run out of meat. I only bought one can. Very, very windy today. It's been very, very windy all month really, give or take the odd day. Yeah, now that is something better. Oh, the rod's performing well. I've got to keep him out there inside reeds. Which isn't always easy. Oh, you're really having a go. Ah, it's a bloody eel. That's the only trouble. That is the only trouble with using meat. It is a big eel as well. There's me thinking that was a lovely chub. Let's see if I can get this hook out without taking you out of the water. That's the only problem with using meat. You've really got yourself tangled up now, haven't you? So you're going to take my hook before long? Yeah, you've taken my hook, haven't you? You little bugger. Oh well, I'm going to have to re-tackle. I thought I could lift him out and just get the hook out without laying him on the ground with all that nonsense, but unfortunately he got tangled up in the grass. He's gone now. Right, I'll be back. A lot of action on the rod top, but there's no distinct pulls. I may walk down and try another couple of spots. There's obviously a lot of small fish in here. As I say, having had one fish come off, which I'm not sure what it was now, and then all that commotion with the eel, I'm not sure any self-respecting chub will still be around, so perhaps some moves in order. Pity, because I like it here. It's a nice little spot. But there we go. Well, I've moved to a spot where I've caught chub before, but unfortunately, as I was setting up here, a rubber dinghy inflatable came along with an electric outboard and two chaps, which didn't please me. But it turns out they are removing floating pennywort, an invasive plant, so I can't complain. But when you get something like that come down a little stream like this, I'm not actually sure it's going to do the fishing any good, but there we go. Not sure whether that's a fish or whether it's the weed. I think it's a fish. It feels like a tremor. I think it's just got the bait off. I think that last pull probably pulled the bait off. No, it didn't. The bait's still on. Let's drop it down into that gap there. Just dropped it between two streamers. I saw it come over the top of the streamer as I was retrieving, so I just let it fall the other side. It's now lying in a channel between two streamers. No. Right, another spot to dip into. There's a float up in that tree over there. Someone's been casting a float over there, which is quite an interesting way of fishing this spot, I think. Great chunk of cheese paste. Let's see if we can entice something. Oh, I think that might have been a bite. Perhaps hold the rod this time. Oh, I think I've still got him. Yeah. Bloody caught up him. Keep knocking me on thing onto Oh, it's quite a nice chub. Yeah, it is a nice chub. Quite a battle. Hello there. That is a fat chub. Right, so that's 4.14 and the net weighs about 0.7, but I'll check it afterwards. What a beautiful fish. What a fat fish. Incredibly fat. There we go. As I say, incredibly fat fish. Whoa. Whoa. Yeah. He wants to go. Right, we're putting him back in. 4.14. Take away about half a pound. 10 ounces. So it's £4, 4 ounces, 4¼ pounds. Well, that was the result. Christen, my new rod. I'm really pleased I caught a chub on the new rod. I mean, say the eel gave me a go, but I wasn't really after eels, I was after chub. That was some fat fish. It wasn't very long, but boy oh boy was it fat. 4¼ pounds. Yeah, looking at it sort of side on, you wouldn't have thought it was 4¼ but yeah, very pleased with that. I'd missed the bite over that far side. I haven't got my lapel mic on at the moment, so this may be being affected by the wind, so apologies for that. Just doing it quickly actually, but yeah, that was great. I've still got a couple of spots to dip into, so we'll move along and see what else we can get out, if anything. Yeah, great fish. Right, it's a cosy little spot that someone's fashioned. So unfortunately when I caught that chub, I've been using my iPhone to get more sort of overall video of what's going on rather than just relying on the head cam. But unfortunately on that occasion, because I just moved along to another spot without sort of moving everything along, I didn't set it up. Anyway, I've set it up this time, so if we're lucky enough to get another one, we'll get two views of what was going on. I'm still getting used to the old Mitchell. I keep catching the little lever at the back that takes the check off, which is right as long as I've got my hand on the handle. Otherwise it could be a bit dodgy. Interesting, that one was caught from the opposite side. Obviously a bit wary close in, and on those other two spots that I tried, because of the overhanging trees, you just couldn't get to the other side. But just scouting out where there's some clear sort of areas between the streamer where it's a bit difficult to see. I could try casting between these two trees over there, but that might be a bit dodgy, but we'll see. Yeah, because the trees are now blowing, so the gap's moving. That worked. And that worked. I'm going to hold the rod, I think. I got caught out in the last one. Yeah, something's playing with it. This is just downstream from the first swim I fished, actually. The water's not quite as fast here, it's slowed down a bit. Craftsmanship in this rod is beautiful. Ryan Burns, he I think it's true to say he started off making classic blanks, you know, the sort of classic Mark IVs and things like that. But then he developed his own tapers, and I believe this arrow rod was his own design, which he sort of calculated the tapers and everything and made it, as I said earlier on, for fishing the River Arrow, which is a tributary small streams. So it sounded just right for what I do. And you can get it in low bell, which I've got here, which I'm using obviously for ledgering. We also does it in high bell for float fishing. And you can also specify it if it suits your purposes to have a separate handle to make it more transportable. I think we just caught in the reeds, which is not good. That's the only danger of fishing these spots. Yeah, it swung right round into the streamer. I think I may be losing things here. Yeah, that's the end of that. Everything gone. Oh well. I'll tack it up again and we'll move to another spot. This is obviously a bit too challenging. Well, I've retackled. I lost everything. I haven't bothered to put on a £5 hook length this time, hook length. I've just got the £7 line direct to a 6 hook. I'm going down into those reeds there where I caught a decent chub last time I came here, and I caught a very nice one last year. The problem is this isn't the best rod for this swim. It'll only just reach the edge of the reeds, so better to have a longer rod here, but I've got what I've got. I did try standing in that water down there, but underneath is soft silt, and I just tried it with one foot and I was sinking, so I decided against it. I ought to bring my unhooking mat really on. Oh, probably best to walk back to the... That's one of me balls of cheese paste gone. I know this swim's snaggy, so it's all a bit of a risk. I also know that there are chub in here. Yeah, it's not the best rod, but we'll see what happens. Also, the cheese paste may not be stable enough for a long cast. I'll try and keep it as gently as I can. Oh, that was pretty good. It's over the reeds. Something having a look straight away. Oh, caught in reeds. Not good. Well, that's it for today. Yeah, it was good. Only been here about 4 hours, but started off with I hooked a fish which came off, which might have been a chub, but I'm not so sure now, because that was followed up by an eel, which I really didn't want eels. I just can't deal with eels, so fortunately it sort of came off, having got itself tangled up in the grass. It took my hook with it, unfortunately, but there we go. But the highlight, of course, was the chub, 4¼ pound, really thick set fish, lovely condition, so that was super. I went up and down trying a number of spots. There's only really about half a dozen on this stream. They're all tricky. There's lots of streamer weed, and the flow's quite fast in places, so the bait gets sort of pulled around quite easy. So in the end, I had a few knocks, but nothing to show for it. The usually reliable swim up by the bridge didn't produce, basically because I just kept getting snagged, and I got out the snag 3 times, but I wasn't going to tempt fate for the 4th time, so I just moved on. So that's it. As I say, by the time you see this, it would have been about 4 weeks since I put a video up, so sorry for the gap, but I've had a few more subscribers, even though I haven't put any more videos up, which is good. So thank you to those people, and to people who already subscribed, of course, and thank you for all the likes on the videos. And just to mention quickly, for new subscribers, I do have a website, which is www.bobgoesfishing.uk. I'll put the link on this video so you can see it. You may want to look at that. As I say, people who have been watching me for a while know about it, but new people may not. And on the website is a sort of preview of a book I wrote, also called Bob Goes Fishing, and you might be interested in that. It's available on Amazon. It's a little project I did during lockdown because we couldn't do much else, so there it was. Anyway, thanks again, and it's time to say goodbye, so goodbye for now, and until the next time, cheers.